Welcome back to the late night program. We are all about laughing out loud, and we always find the funny. From the Catskills to vaudeville, to nursing homes, to IHOP. At the ripe young age of 95 years old, please welcome the comedy of Grandma Martha.
Thank you very much for having me. It's great to be here in late night New England. At my age, it's great to be anywhere. So listen, I work with a lot of old people. And my friends say, how do you work with old people? They said, isn't it depressing? And I says, no. I said, the only thing about working with old people is every time you put your drink down, somebody puts their teeth in your glass. But I work with the Alzheimer's. I can tell the same jokes every day, and I'm a smash. And I try to cross over between the elderly and the young people, and you got to try to find a balance. Like last week, I did a show, young girl in the audience. I says, how old are you, dear? She says, I'm 22. I said, well, listen. I said, you're young now. I said, and everything's where it's supposed to be. I said, but when you get old, I said, gravity's going to take its toll. I said, I had a sister that lived to be 90 years old. She felt a lump in between her breasts one day. It turned out to be her belt buckle. And then I told her, I said, listen, old age is okay. I said, if you take care of yourself. I said, I had another sister, started walking 5 miles a day when she turned 65. Now she's 94. We don't know where the hell she is. Then I had another sister, started having trouble with the memory. So I called her, I said, what's the matter? She says, well, I'm getting confused. She says, this morning, I mixed up my Preparation H with my Polygrip. She said, the good news is my gums aren't swollen anymore. She said, the bad news is my ass cheeks are glued shut. And I had another sister, never got married, always lived alone, so I sent her a bird to keep her company. And I called her, I said, how's the bird? She said, I cooked it. I said, what do you mean you cooked it? I said, that was a rare South American parrot. He spoke 5 languages. She said, well, he should have said something. And I know elderly people, when you retire, a lot of people go away on vacations and things and cruises. So I had a sister, went on her first cruise. She was 80-something years old when she went on the first cruise. And you know the first day when the ship ships out and everybody's waving? Well, she's out there waving, and the wind is blowing, and her dress keeps blowing up. She keeps holding on like this. Her dress keeps blowing up. She keeps holding on like this. Her dress keeps blowing up. She keeps holding on like this. So finally, the kid next to her says, ma'am, he says, you know, every time the wind blows, your dress blows up. He says, you hold on like this. He said, how come? She said, listen, Sonny, everything under this dress is 85 years old. I just bought this hat yesterday. I wish I was sitting out there. I'd love to hear this. Now, like I said, I work with a lot of older people. Like there's an old couple, married a lot of years, and the wife always nagged the husband to take her away on a trip, but he never took her. Finally, he takes her away to Jerusalem, and she drops dead on the trip. So they says, you can either bury her here for $150 or ship her home for $5,000. The old man said, ship her home. So he said, why would you do that, $150 compared to $5,000? The old man said, don't you read your Bible? He said, how many years ago a guy died, he was buried, 3 days later he rose again. I can't take that chance with her. Little old couple. All right, little old lady comes down to breakfast. The husband looks at her, he says, Mary, he says, you got a suppository hanging out of your ear. She says, oh, she says, now I remember where I put my hearing aid. Now, getting old is not for sissies. I gotta tell you, it's really not. Like there's 3 old men sitting on a park bench, 70 years old, 80 years old, 90 years old. 70-year-old says, I hate being 70. He said, I can't pee. He said, I stand there and I wait, and I wait, and I wait. Nothing comes out. 80-year-old said, that's nothing. He says, try being 80. He said, I can't move my bowels. He said, I sit there and I wait, and I wait, and I wait. Nothing comes out. 90-year-old said, well, try being 90. They said, do you have trouble peeing? He says, no. Every morning, 6:30, I pee. Do you have trouble moving your bowels? He says, no, every morning, 7:30, I move my bowels. They said, so what's so bad about being 90? He said, I don't wake up until 8. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you guys having me. Everybody have a very nice night, and thank you.
Very funny. Hi, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let me help you.
Thank you. How you doing, kid?
You're a funny, funny lady.
Well, you gotta laugh because if you hold it in, it turns to gas, you know. Nice little program here.
Nice little program here.
Nice
I'm
little
glad you
program.
could make it in for the early bird.
Well, you know. You got a good laugh.
I have a good laugh. You know, laughing keeps us young, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, where are you from originally?
Me, Providence.
You're from Providence.
Yeah, Silver Lake, I was born.
Silver Lake?
Yeah.
And
A lot of Italians back then.
A lot of Italians. You have I know you have great recipes, but you really you have some funny jokes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I kept busy. I kept busy a long time working way back vaudeville radio because I worked radio a lot because I was ugly.
You get the perfect face for radio.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I did some USO tours back in the day. I'm still working, but most everybody's gone now.
We were at war back then.
Yeah. Hey, you know how many wars I went through? World War II, Korea, all of them.
And people, you know, we've obviously worked together, and the audiences just love you.
Yeah, well, I try to bridge the gap between the young and the old, you know. I try to, you know, explain to the old people that things are different than when we were young, and the young people, you know, they're going to get old someday. So it's a tough, you know.
And what would you say to some youngsters today with your wisdom?
Well, I say save your money, number one. So you're not 95 years old and still working.
In doing this show.
No. I keep at it. Just keep going. I mean, you're not going to hit it out of the park all the time, but, you know, just keep at it. Do whatever. Like George Burns, you know, he used to say, you're not a failure if you love what you do.
That's right.
So just keep doing it.
Yeah,
you know?
you don't get to have such longevity like yourself if you decide to say this isn't working out for me.
No, of course. Well, I can't afford to die right now. I'm booked. So, like I said, I keep busy, and now things change. So now I work a lot of the old age homes, assisted livings, things like that, for people around my own age. You know, because just because you're old don't mean you don't have a good sense of humor.
No, you have to have a good sense of humor, and that's what it's all about, is just finding the funny. Now, are you single?
I'm widowed.
You're widowed?
3 times.
3 times.
My first husband died eating poisoned mushrooms. My second husband died eating poisoned mushrooms. My third husband got pushed out a 3rd-story window. He wouldn't eat those damn mushrooms.
What is the key to making a relationship work, Martha?
Dead mother-in-laws.
Dead mother-in-laws.
No. Really? Key? 2 bathrooms and 2 television sets. Because then there's no problems. Then there's no problem. I mean, it's nice to have somebody grow old, but it's nice having the 2 glasses with the 2 teeth side by side. That's nice. But you're going to differ on the television shows, and, you know, when you get my age, you're always in the bathroom. So 2 bathrooms, 2 television sets. That's what I say.
You're a bit
Everything else will fall into place.
You're a bit of a romantic.
Yeah, well, I've been around a while. I knew the Dead Sea when it was just sick.
Oh, Martha, you always you're quick-witted, and I think that's the key to longevity. I keep saying that, but that's what it's all about, to stick around.
Oh yeah, of course. Like I said, look at all the old timers. George Burns lived to be 100, Bob Hope 100. All the old timers, because they like what they do. When you hear people laugh, it's something.
Yeah,
if you can make people laugh, you got it made.
It's infectious, and you're a funny lady. And how do people find out about you?
Well, I do a lot of my advertising on Facebook.
You're on Facebook?
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Huh? Yeah, they show me. You know, I got one of those rotary phones, you know, the cellulite phones now I got that you touch with your fingers and stuff. I got one of those.
You have a cellulite phone?
I got a cellulite phone, yeah. I know how to text and do all that stuff, and oh yeah, and I try to stay with the times, you know. Like I don't have one of those UPSs in the car. I get lost a lot. I tried playing that Candy Crush on the computer. I caught diabetes. I thought Instagrams was a cereal. But you can find me on Facebook. Go under Brian Vincent. I had a website. I think I'm going to get the website going again. I just have to get moving with that stuff again.
It's Brian Vincent, a.k.a. Grandma Martha. We worked together. I had to have you on the program because you're making me smile. And I just heard producer Cody or Kevin, somebody snorted in the other room, because we love the characters. We love what you do.
I got to say, the old lady, I'm now myself again, but they love the old lady. And it works. It works around New England especially. Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, because everybody had a grandmother like this, or an old aunt. I went down to Florida a bit. It works fine down there. Arizona, not so good. Very dry down there. Very. like looking at an oil painting. But for the most part, like I said, even if I'm with the young kids, they get a kick out of it, and the old people, you know, they can relate to it. So it's a good. I got a good act, and I mean, it's people like you who appreciate it that keep me still working. And,
Look, it's the simplest
and like I said,
form
I appreciate
of, it's just laughter. It's comedy. It's escapism. It's what we all like
Yep.
to do. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
It's Grandma Martha, Brian Vincent, our funny friend here on the Late Night program. Check her out for some great LOL. More Late Night New England's coming up.